sure is nice to be back out in nature. More so if you're a photographer and you're pretty used to being stuck in behind a computer all the time. We all know the feels, don't we? So welcome back. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but 2026 has been a pretty hectic year so far. I'm currently in the thick of my wedding season. For those of you that know, I'm a wedding photographer and a videographer. Also, we've been away as a family, myself and my partner and all of our family. We actually travelled to Orlando, Florida, which was an amazing trip to go on with all our kids. My partner's 2 kids and my 2 kids. It's been pretty special. We went out, I got to taste what America was like. It was really cool. It was nice, 2 weeks away in the sun. I haven't been on a plane for 17 years, so it was a bit of a shock to the system, if you like, to go there and just experience American culture. But we did Disney World, Disneyland, whatever you call it. Wasn't really my thing, but the kids were happy. That's the main thing. Since we got back, we've also, myself and my partner Natalie, we've bought our first home. We have decided that we are going to build our forever home. Not build it, but we are stripping it right back to the bare brick, which is a mission in itself. So been pretty busy, so I haven't been uploading to YouTube. And in that time, when we went away to Orlando, as you well know, I was shooting with my everyday camera, which was my Fujifilm X1006. But since returning from Florida, I did make the decision to actually let that camera go, which might come as a shock to some of you. Some of you know that I really like that camera. You're probably asking, if I liked it, why did I get rid of it? But I chose to get rid of it just for some reasons. Just for me, I've shot with Nikon, I've shot with Sony, I've shot with Ricoh, I've shot with Canon, and Canon is the same camera that I shoot now. I shoot all my weddings and stuff, all my commercial work on my Canon cameras. I've got the R6 II and the Canon RP, which I hate, but that's for another time. But yeah, I've basically tried a lot of cameras, and for me personally, I think the Fujifilm X1006, I'm glad I got it. I am glad that I purchased that camera. I think it's a great camera, but for me it just wasn't something that I enjoyed using. I did enjoy it, I tell a lie, I did enjoy it, but for me it just wasn't right. For you photographers watching, if obviously some seasoned professionals that watch my channel, if you know the fact that when you've got a camera, it has to feel right. Ergonomically, yes, cameras have to sort of sit right in the hand, but cameras for me sort of have to give you a certain feeling. And for me, that Fujifilm, even though it was a great tool to have, I know there's a big hype online about the Fujifilm X1006, but for me personally, I just think that it's a little bit overhyped. It is a 35mm equivalent full frame. It is a crop sensor, but it's got the equivalent of a full frame 35mm. Beautiful lens to use, but it was fixed to the camera. It is a fixed point and shoot, and for me personally, I think that was the deciding factor, and the fact that I just didn't feel the connection I thought I was going to feel with the camera. I thought it was going to want me to go out shooting a lot more, so I subsequently made the decision. While I think it was just before we went to Orlando. We went to Orlando in April, was it? No, March. We took off at the end of March, came back in sort of mid-April, and I told my partner Nat that before I went, I think the Fujifilm is on borrow time, and I'd already decided that I was going to sell it. As you well know, it is a hyped up camera. It's big on social media. It's very popular with photographers around the world, and it is a unique camera in certain ways, but for me it just wasn't the camera for me. I loved the fact that, you know, it was a nice looking camera. I got a lot of compliments on it. A lot of people have stopped me with the camera and say, you know, is that film camera? That's cool. Can I see it? Really cool, but for me, I prefer to be a bit sort of inconspicuous when I'm out shooting. I'm out today in the hills of. I'm actually I'm in a spot that I've been to before. It's called Porthwine Brickworks, but I'm actually up on this sort of high-rise hill overlooking the old abandoned brickworks, which is pretty cool. I am sort of new to the area. It is coming up to a year since I moved here, but I'm still finding new places to explore. Hopefully we'll go out today and take some shots with my new camera, which I'll explain to you a little bit more. But unfortunately, the Fuji's gone. I did get rid of it, and I replaced it with another camera, which I'm going to talk to you about today, so stay tuned.
Home point updated.
Here we go. probably isn't the most flattering of camera angles, but we just had the drone up, so popping the drone away now. We can head down then into Porthwen and get some shots with the new camera. But yeah, I've tried many different camera brands in my past on this sort of everlasting hunt for a good everyday camera. Now, everyday camera to some people can be something like a small point and shoot. It could be a professional setup. It could be something as big as the Canon R6, which I shoot professionally with. It could be something like that, but some people just prefer not to. I prefer not to use my big expensive camera gear, which I keep for my work. I tend not to want to bring that out with me if I'm out with the kids, if I'm out for a hike, if I'm out walking like I am today in these beautiful locations. I prefer to just have a designated camera, which is my everyday camera. I tried to get the Fujifilm X1006 to be my everyday camera, but it just didn't feel quite right. Obviously, it's a very expensive camera. It is £1,500 for that camera. I did pretty much get every penny I paid for it back when I sold it to mpb.com. I sent it off to them because I wanted to step up to a different camera, and the camera in question that I've now gone for, which I have fallen in love with, and I've really taken to this camera. I've had it about a month and a bit now, and I just feel constantly an urge to go out and shoot with it. I never really had that with the Fujifilm X1006. I didn't really want to sort of, I mean, I did take it out, I did go out, it was just handy to have, you know, out and about if I was out with the kids or I was out shooting, or like I said, I went to Orlando with it. I took it with me. Great camera, but for me, just not enough. I don't like Fuji menus. I've got to say, if you're a Fuji shooter, I don't know how you do it, because I just do not like the Fuji menus whatsoever. They are, for me, so overcomplicated. The text just doesn't work. Some of the texts are in bold, some are in sort of lower score, like undercase sort of thing. I don't like it. It looks overcomplicated, and I think it's made a simple thing overcomplicated for me. I didn't like them. It was a fixed lens. Obviously you can't take that lens off that camera unless you hack the thing to pieces, which I don't think you want to do with a £1,500 camera. But like I said, I got a quote for it. MPB were going to give me a good amount, so I had a couple of little accessories. I just threw them in the box as well while that got sent out to MPB, and then I upgraded. So like I said, the ergonomics for me, I think it's a great camera, the Fuji. It is a fantastic camera, but like I said, I decided to change over, and the camera that I went and bought was a camera that I've actually been pursuing for, I'd say, at least 2.5 years. You might say, well, why didn't you just buy that from the start? But I wanted to try a couple of new things. I wanted to try the Ricoh. Obviously, it's something different to what I'm used to. It is a different camera system, and it's nice sometimes to just try something different, get out of your comfort zone, use a different system. If you're used to shooting in Nikon, you know, try a Canon. If you're used to shooting in Fuji, try Ricoh. It is good to sort of explore and expand your horizons, but I did try a few cameras. They just weren't for me. The Ricoh obviously never had a viewfinder on it. I didn't like that aspect. I liked the Fuji because it had the rangefinder, it had the optical viewfinder, as well as you could switch over to the electronic viewfinder, which is an amazing feature, but just wasn't for me. Didn't feel right, didn't encourage me to go out, and therefore I went and purchased the camera, which I've always wanted to buy, and finally I was able to have enough money in the funds to buy it, and it is the Nikon Zf. Some say ZF, some say ZF, but to me, apparently Nikon have come out and said it is the Nikon Zf. But this is my new camera. It's got a 40mm f2 lens on it, so 40mm. Like I said, it is a full frame camera. It is a fantastic camera for the shoots that I've been out with it. I'm pretty disappointed that I couldn't get this in time to go to Orlando, but the Fuji did me proud. That was its last shoot, and then it headed off to MPV to start its new life for someone else. But now I have the Nikon Zf, and this thing is absolutely phenomenal. What I can do with the RAWs on this is incredible. Obviously it's got that retro styling. It does have the retro styling. It is based off on the FM2, I think it is, which is a film camera of Nikon's from many moons ago. But the styling, the build quality, everything about this camera is just phenomenal. But the biggest thing for me, like I said, is it encourages me. I just want to go out and shoot with it. I love having it in my hand. It's rugged, it's built well, it feels good, it's tactile, it's got all the bells and whistles on it, and I just love taking it out, throwing it over my shoulder, taking it out and capturing them shots. So we're going to head down. We'll head down now to Porthwen, get some shots. Every shot that you see, apart from the drone ones, I'll let you know. Obviously you'll know yourself the drone ones because they're up in the sky, but every shot that you'll see in today's video is going to come from the Nikon Zf. So hope you enjoy. So what I thought I'd do, I'd stop on the way down. I've just come down off the top of the hill, heading down into the abandoned brickworks. There is an awful lot of campers sort of staying there. It is a notorious spot for people coming down and camping in, so I don't want to do too much talking to camera shots down there. So I'll probably head down, get lots of shots, show you off the shots, and they're all taken, like I said, on the Nikon Zf. But I thought I'd stop before we head down there and just show you a bit of a closer look at the Nikon Zf. It's not an in-depth review, it is basically just to say that I've upgraded to this camera. It does have, as you can see, an aftermarket grip on that camera. It didn't have a fantastic grip initially, but I did decide to get a grip so that it just sits in my hand that little bit better. You can do lots of things to it. I've seen people that they sort of grind down on the top dials to give it that patina look, I think it's called. I personally wouldn't take sandpaper to my camera. I just don't think it's worth it, because if you ever did sell your camera, it is going to seriously harm the value of it. But if you're not going to get rid of it, it is cool to make it your own. So the top dials, as you can see, are amazing. If you do like using them, me personally, I just think stick everything in auto. I shoot in aperture priority, as you well know. Stick it in that and let the camera do it for me. And I just head out. I do fiddle with the aperture a little bit, which is on one of the front dials. Everything is so close to the hand. There is no joystick, which is one thing that sort of slightly put me off this camera, but to be fair, I've not really noticed it. You can actually use the screen, so you can use a portion of the screen so that when it is up to your eye, you can basically use it as a joypad, and you can set that to whichever quadrant you want on that screen. So that's a really nice feature, so well done Nikon for that. This camera so far has blown my expectations. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love shooting with it. I love the feedback, the haptic feedback that you get when you press it. Ergonomically, probably not as great when you think about it. If you have to get that grip, it does make the camera a bit bulkier, but I like to feel a strong camera in my hand. It is really nice. So yeah, just wanted to give you a quick stop just to show off the Nikon Zf. There is going to be more in the future that I do, a more in-depth sort of review on this camera, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to head down now into the abandoned brickworks, and just every photo that you see, like I said, is going to be from the Nikon Zf. So hope you enjoy. Welcome to the family, Nikon. It's good to be back shooting in Nikon systems. Bye bye Fuji. Unfortunately, you weren't for me, but you got to go with what you got to go with. So hope you enjoy the photos. Just a quick video today, but as I always say, see the world, capture life. Peace.